Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Bird's Eye View. I'm your host, Erica Bird McCall, because my last name is McCall. And my McCall is a little shaken up, y'all. I went to Universal Studios and was screaming my butt off on the rides, and so my voice is a little gone. The McCall's a little shaken up, but we're still here, about to rock with the 10th episode of the season. You guys been here. Thank you for listening in. It's been big blessings, and I have an amazing guest. I can't wait to introduce her. I know you guys can read it on when you're already listening to the show, but I got to introduce her. I'm hyped. But for those who do not know me first, I'm Erica McCall. Once again, I've played overseas ball in the WNBA for 5 years in Hungary and in Turkey, and I played all around the league. And now I'm here in Arizona, rehabbing, training to get back right to play in Spain. My guest, we're rivals. I'm super hyped. I'm super hyped to play against her. But we've got an amazing episode, y'all. I'm here to just educate. I came up with a new word today. It's called edutain. I'm here to educate y'all and entertain y'all about what it's like to be a female professional basketball player. We go through the ups and the downs, and I'm here to bring the stories to y'all firsthand from some amazing guests. I like to call them friends. I hope we can call ourselves friends after this. But no, other than I'm talking too much as usual. Everyone, welcome on our guest, no other than Rebekah Gardner. Welcome on. Thank you for being on the show.
Hey, thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
What do you go by Beck? Is that fine if I call you Beck?
Yeah, you can call me Beck.
Cool. Okay, so we got Beck on, y'all. You guys requested her a lot on Twitter. I had DMs for requests. People I'm like giving hints to like who's coming on as a future episode. They're like, is it Rebekah Gardner? Is it? Y'all, I got it in the works. And we got her on the show. Big blessings. Beck, let me read your bio.
Okay.
You're amazing. So let me just go ahead and get into it. Okay. You graduated from UCLA in 2012. You're a Bear, Pac-12, Pac-10, and Pac-12. You're one of those.
Yeah, wait, were we there at the same time?
Nope.
No,
I missed you. Yep, I missed you.
I'm a little bit older, I'm pretty sure.
But fun fact, your sister was my host for
yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And we went to it. She took me to a Big Sean concert, and we had a good time.
Okay. Yeah, my sister is fun.
Oh, super fun. Super fun. I love being around her. So shout out to your sis.
But now you didn't go to UCLA though.
You know what? We'll talk after this. Why? Okay. We will talk about that after the show. But I do have respect. I love Coach Corey, and some of my dearest friends play for UCLA. Carrie Corver, Kennedy Burke, KB. You guys were teammates, so that's my soul sister right there. She told me to tell you hi, by the way.
Okay, cool. Tell her I said hi too.
I will. All right. Yes, graduated in 2012. You're part of the All Pac-12 team in 2012. Y'all, she's currently playing for the Chicago Sky, where she's averaging in her rookie season 9 points, 3.2 rebounds, 1.5 steals, and shooting 54% from the 2, 32% from the 3. I don't know if you guys are basketball junkies, but if you are, that's freaking incredible, especially for your first year in the league. I won't say what my stats were, but they were nowhere near that.
Well, thank you.
Absolutely. And because we are an all-inclusive podcast, we like to talk about overseas. She's a 10-year vet that's played for Israel, Turkey, Romania, and Spain, where she was most recently named MVP of the Spanish League, y'all. That's big time. We got a big timer on. Like I said, only bring the heavy hitters on the podcast. Only bring the heavy hitters. So I'm super excited. Plus, we're going to be playing against each other in Spain. Mm-hmm. I know our teams have some big rivals, so I'm hyped for it. See. Yeah. I'm hyped. Like I said, we gotta talk we gotta talk after this, because we UCLA, Spain, all that good stuff.
Right.
But once again, welcome on the show. Man, you have an amazing story to tell. I'm excited to get to it. Like I said, the fans are hyped, but just want to say thank you again. And if you are ready, it's time for a game.
Okay, I'm a little nervous, but okay, let's go.
All my guests are always nervous when I say we have a game, but I like to keep it light. I like to keep it fun, just to get us a little loose for the interview. But I like to title my games, and this title is called none other than The Rookie and the Vet.
Okay. The rookie bet.
Usually I like to, keep a theme with my questions. I don't know if all my questions will be with the theme, but it'll be fun nonetheless. So let's get to it.
Okay, let's
All
go.
right, here we go. First question, tough one. Harold's
Okay.
or In-N-Out?
I actually, okay, you know I'm from Southern California, right?
Yes, Cali to the,
So
I'm from Cali,
definitely,
so I love it.
yeah, definitely In-N-Out for sure. And actually, I've never even heard of Harold's. I don't know if that's bad.
Oh, baby girl, the Chicago fans are gonna get you. Girl, you never heard
The
of
people in
Harold's Chicken?
Chicago, I haven't. People like I gotta get out. Like I've been so focused on basketball that I need to like get out and like experience the real Chicago. You know.
You know what? That's what we're gonna give you a pass. You've been so focused on basketball. You have been balling that we're gonna give you a pass that you do not know what Harold's
Okay.
Chicken is.
Okay.
But you know what? I am happy that you chose In-N-Out. I'm from Bakersfield, so I'm all Cali
Okay.
too. So Cali, I'm choosing In-N-Out as well. What's your order?
Okay. I just keep it simple. Just a cheeseburger meal with some. I might do animal style fries and like
Okay,
a
there we go.
vanilla shake. You know what I
Yep,
mean?
shake it up. Yep. I like that. All right, next question. Whose player's game did you admire the most before you got into the league?
That's a good question. Before I got into the league, I would say, I mean, there's so many good players, but I would say, hmm, I really like. I mean, I really like. She doesn't play anymore, but I really was a big fan of Maya Moore, to be honest. Like, and I'm kind of sad she doesn't play anymore, or is on a break. I hope she comes back,
Me
but
too.
I feel like she's like one of the all time greats, and like she just has like a level that she's gotten to a level that is like uh, one that I want to get to. You know what I mean? And that one that I
Thanks.
wanted to get to. She, wins championships and all that, and I feel like she just embodies like greatness, and I love her. So
Big facts. Great answer. And
yeah.
you're on your way to that. You're playing on y'all the number one team in the league right now. Y'all playing for the Commissioner Cup tomorrow. So I'm grateful that
Yes.
you on the pod right now.
Mm-hmm.
Right before that big game. I think that's pretty darn dope. I know what I would
Yeah.
do with $30,000. So
I know. I haven't even thought about it
don't even think about the money. Just, I know you
yet. I
focus on
know.
just
First,
on just
first
on
let's
winning the
win the
game,
money.
but
First, let's
but
First, let's
but
win
when
the
you win that
game.
30K, I'm gonna have to ask, hey, what you gonna do with that? Because that's a lot of guap. Yes, sir.
Just a little extra change. Definitely a little extra change.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Okay. Next question. What has been the most, or who's been the most fun team to play against in the league with you guys, or who you really enjoy playing against?
I like playing against. I mean, there's a few teams. Uh, I
You can
think I
name more
like.
than one.
Hmm. So I know you guys just. I don't know if you've seen. You probably didn't see the game, but like we just played New York.
Yes.
Um, and I like the matchup against Sabrina. I had to guard her a lot, and
I saw
like
that.
we were kind of like going back and forth. So that was like a fun matchup. But I also kind of like playing against. I would say, oof, there's so many good teams, but I kind of like the fast paced games. So I
Okay.
like playing against teams like Atlanta and stuff
Right.
like that. I feel like and even Vegas, to be honest, like
Mm-hmm.
I love the fast pace. So I feel like even tomorrow's gonna be fun. And whenever the game is fast, like that's like I'm like, okay, this is my type of game. You know what I
Yes.
mean? So
Yes.
our last game against Vegas too, it was like so fast. It was up and down. I don't know if you remember. It was like when we were down by 30 or 28 and we came
Yes.
back.
Yes.
Yeah.
I do.
So
Yes.
I would definitely say all the faster paced teams, and yeah, I would say Vegas, Atlanta, definitely, like for
Okay.
sure. Yeah.
Tough. Nice. I
Yeah.
think a lot of fans will be surprised you said Atlanta, but your reasoning makes sense as to why.
Yeah,
But
because they play the fast pace, and
right.
I just like that style.
Do you
So
guard Ryan?
I did guard. Yeah. The last time we played them, I guarded Tiffany Hayes sometimes, but back and forth. You know,
Now that's speed.
Yeah.
You talk about
So
speed. Yeah. Okay. You definitely enjoy doing that because I would hate
yeah,
Gardner.
and I like having those matchups, like where I get to like guard those good players
Yeah.
because that like helps me like get into the game more. So,
Oh, she's a
um,
dog. She said, I want the best player on the team, coach.
yeah. Every time I sub in, I'm ready.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Yes. And that's why she's balling right now in the league because she has that dog like mentality. Great answers. You're killing it. You see, you're killing the game portion. I told you
Yes. So
it's gonna be
far, the
light and
game's
fun.
not that hard.
That's what I try to keep it easy for you guys. Okay, next
Yes.
question. UCLA in the Big Ten, thumbs up or thumbs down?
Whew. I'm gonna go with thumbs
Mm-hmm.
down.
Thumbs down. Yep, me too. It just
Yeah.
doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. They're bound for the Pac-12. It's a West Coast. They're going to be competing all over the country. They're going to be freaking tired. But I am looking forward to seeing how the UCLA women's basketball team competes against Big Ten competition. I think it's going to be really exciting.
Yeah, I mean, it could bring some more, like, usually East Coast recruits don't come to the West Coast, so it could
Yes.
bring some people. But I just really liked how like the Pac-12 was kind of like the known conference of the West Coast, and
Yes.
there's still some great schools like Stanford and like all. There's still some great schools, but it's just like kind of like we were known for this side, but
Yes.
I mean at the same time it's going to bring a lot of more exposure to UCLA, USC, and I feel like it could be good, but I'm like Team West Coast, so like
Same here. Same here. Cali till we die. That's all we
yeah.
say. West Coast, best
Exactly.
coast. So I'm a little weary,
Yeah,
but it's gonna be fun to watch. I'm interested to see how this first year is gonna go for them, the Big Ten. We'll see.
yeah. I mean, yeah, like I said, it'll get them more exposure for sure. So we'll see how it goes.
We'll see. Keep an eye out for
Yeah.
UCLA in that Big Ten. Okay, last question.
hmm
What has been the biggest surprise for you playing in the league?
The biggest surprise. So, I'd say like the biggest surprise for me would be like kind of like seamlessly fitting in to the role that I have been for the team.
Mm,
Does that make sense? Like,
yes,
I
yes,
feel like no one ever really knows how someone's game will translate into the league. And then it's also not, there's been players that played in the league for years and haven't found their like spot
yes,
or like their
yes.
role on the team. So I feel like that's been like, it's been surprising. But like, it's been like, not only surprising, it's just been like kind of like a blessing and like, it's just almost like sometimes I think it's surreal that how it's
Yeah,
happened. You know what I mean? So
no, for sure.
I
I
would definitely
mean,
say that.
I mean, I know I definitely was the player that it took some time, and it's rare to get on a team coming in, especially a team like Chicago. They just came off a championship season to
Right.
find your fit, to find your groove with a team, and for you to do it so, like you said, so seamlessly.
Yeah.
That's super dope, and I think one of the reasons why you are so successful this season.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, and there's so many great players on the team too. So
Yes, of
yeah,
course.
yeah,
Just to mention, Candace Parker, just to mention you were Clea Copper,
yeah.
you know, so
Spanish
so
flute.
yes, I mean
Quickly,
the
like,
list goes on. So you're surrounded
right.
by greatness, and for you to be able
Yeah.
to insert yourself with that, it can be really hard. And for you to do, I think I think a lot of that comes with the mindset. So kudos to you for being able to just adapt your mindset to a new setting. So yeah, super dope.
Yeah. Yeah. It has been so far.
Good.
So.
Well, you passed the game portion of the show. I hope it was easy. I hope it was
Okay.
fun. Was it fun?
Yeah, it was fun. It wasn't
Okay.
as I had no reason to be nervous. So
Exactly. Exactly.
yeah,
That's what the whole podcast is going to be about. Is don't be nervous. It's going to be fun. We're just having a conversation. That's what I like to tell my guests. So we're just conversing.
right,
All right.
right.
So first question of the interview portion. Let's just start with you graduating from UCLA and you're going to play overseas. What's really your mindset? Because you weren't drafted, you were undrafted, and
Uh-huh.
you know, I think there's there may be some disappointment for some players. What was your
Mhm.
mindset coming out of college, going straight to overseas? And where did you play?
So yeah, coming out of college, actually my senior year, to be honest, I wanted to play overseas, but a lot of people don't know that I didn't really like know how to get there, or I was even like thinking about retiring and going
Really?
into, yeah, I was looking at grad schools to go to, but yeah, so thankfully I had a teammate, her older sister played overseas, and she like put me in contact with some agents, and uh, yeah, I will say, like you said, like, you know, everyone comes out of college wanting to go to the WNBA or getting drafted. I had a pretty decent season, but then it was like, you know, when how it is kind of like if you don't really do well in the tournament, it's kind of hard to get that high draft pick
Yeah.
or even
Yes.
be a draft pick. And I think at that time there was only 2 rounds of the draft too, so
Mhm.
that was different too. But so back to what I was saying. Yeah, I talked to a couple agents, and then one agent, he was a Canadian Israeli agent, and he was trying to get me to go to Israel. And actually, teams were passing on me in Israel too. And then there was one
Wow.
coach who kind of like decided to give me a chance, and then I started my career there. And my first 4 years, I was there, and then since then, like I've been like all over the place. So.
We always say Israel is always a great place in the basketball world, a great place to start as a
Uh huh.
rookie. It's
Yeah.
very Americanized in terms of the city
Yes.
and just the
Food.
customs. Yeah, the
Yeah.
food. I know the food's crazy expensive, but the food, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
So it's a bit of an easier transition, playing there.
Yeah.
So 4 years you played in Israel. And how was that experience?
Actually, I loved it. I could actually live in Israel. Have you played there
Really?
before?
I have not. Everyone says you have to go.
Yeah, at least 1 year you should play there for sure.
Okay.
But yeah, like you said, there it's very Americanized. It's kind of like a mini America, I would
Mm,
say, but it's a lot smaller. So the people are like more like family oriented. So
love
you
that.
feel at home. Everyone speaks English. Um, I think that yeah, I played on 3 different teams in that 4 years, and but it's really small. It's nice because also like there's a lot of Americans like
Yes.
close.
Yes.
So so like I mean, even though you're away, it's kind of like you're still in college. Like you still feel like you're in the
Yeah, because
yeah.
I'll be
So
seeing the videos of everyone's hanging out in the same area. Everyone is turning up. I'm like, dang,
right,
that's
yeah.
what's up.
So it was kind of like a good transition, like you said. But I think after a few years, I kind of like was ready to move on to something different, and then that's where I kind of I went into playing in the next 3 years. I had into playing in Turkey. So you've played in Turkey,
Yes.
right?
Where'd you play Turkey? What team did you?
Um, you said which what?
What teams did you play on in
Oh,
Turkey?
so I played actually. Two of them aren't in the league anymore. It was Osmaniye. It was
Okay.
a southern Turkey. The second one was Istanbul University.
Yes, I know that
Uh,
one.
yeah, and then third one is Orman. I don't know if you've heard of
Yes,
Orman.
yes, yes. We played
Yeah,
against them
they
a
were.
lot.
Yeah, so uh, 3 different cities. I liked Istanbul the best.
I struggled
You
with
don't
that.
like? Huh?
I struggled with Istanbul. I did.
Really? Wait, what
Yeah.
city did you play in?
I played in Istanbul. I was with Beşiktaş, so I was
Oh,
really like the main part of the
you're in
city.
a good
Like
area.
I was in a very good area. But I played in Hungary, and like Hungary, you played in Romania. It's a small. I played in
Yeah.
Sexart, so it's a very small city, and I was just used to that. And so me going to Istanbul, a big city, a lot of people, it was hard. It was like a culture shock for me. It took
Really?
some time. Yeah, it took some time for me to adjust to, but I really liked how I had options. Like in Hungary, I didn't have many options. And we had like 2 grocery stores in
Uh,
town.
yeah,
So
yeah. Oh
I was
my
able to go
gosh.
out more. But hey, a lot of people say they enjoy Istanbul. So more power to you.
Yeah, I mean, just like, I mean, it depends what you like. Like,
Very true.
I'm from like near the LA area, so I like you said, having the option of doing something
Yes.
like to go to like a nice restaurant or because like I feel like when you're overseas, like life outside of basketball is important.
Very.
So, you know what I mean? So, being in those bigger cities, I feel like sometimes when I had like stuff to do off the court, I played better on the court, if that makes sense. So
No, absolutely. And everyone is
yeah,
different. For
yeah.
me, like I like going on nice quiet walks and around the city.
Are you from a small town?
I'm from Bakersfield, there's not much
Oh
to do.
yeah, you did tell me that. You did tell me that.
You know that. So it's a bit
Yep.
different from me, very suburban, and we just don't really have much to do. So like going hungry was an easy adjustment for me as opposed to going to Besiktas, where it's like LA, going to LA or New York.
Yeah.
It's very fast paced, moving groove. So yeah, it's different.
Yeah. I don't know if you would like Israel then if you because
I'm
it's
glad you
kind
told
of
me that.
fast in Israel. But I
Okay,
mean, no, but like you might. It just depends. You can find ways to like slow down. You know what I mean? In
absolutely.
Istanbul, I feel like it's kind of hard to do that. They don't have parks and stuff like that. So,
Never. Everywhere I go, I try
so
to go on a nice walk. Cars are honking everywhere. It's just,
yeah,
it's a
Istanbul
different
is a lot
experience.
different.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, for
for
sure.
sure.
All right. So you played in Turkey, and then in 2017, you got invited to actually go to a training camp for the Chicago Sky. What was your mindset
Mhm.
like when you got that invite?
Yeah, so that was after my first year in Turkey, and
Okay.
back when that year, I remember Turkey. I mean, Turkey's still a great league, but back then, even the amount of foreigners were different and stuff, so it was really good, and I had a pretty good year that year. And then, yeah, I got a call to go to training camp, and of course, you know how that is when you get the call,
Yeah.
you're super excited
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
stuff. Um, so toward the end of the season, I was just kind of like playing, like preparing to go into training camp. Um, I came to Chicago. It was with a different coach, Coach Amber Stocks. She was
Oh
here
yeah.
for
Yeah.
a year. You know
Yep.
what I mean?
Mhm.
Or you know how to. So yeah, I feel like it just was like I feel like my position was kind of already full, and um, and then also it was like 5 years ago. I feel like my mindset was a little bit different then. So uh, I would just say that it just wasn't the right timing.
Okay.
But after that experience, I kind of just decided that I would go back to a training camp if it was like very clear that I had a real opportunity to make a team. And thankfully it came up again. It was like 5 years later, but hey, better late than never, right?
It did. And I talk to a lot of my friends who don't play in the WNBA anymore or who used to. And now it's it can be emotionally exhausting when you have
Yeah,
these teams calling you to training camp, but you're not going to make a team. Like, you're just a spot filler for, till the big
right.
players come to camp and stuff like that. And how emotionally exhausting that can be, to
Yeah.
just keep getting invited and you just know, like, I'm just going to be
Yeah,
there
I
for that
mean
time being.
they don't say it, but
Yep.
like you know. So
No. Yeah.
um so yeah, that was kind of like where I was at with that. And I mean, when I feel like when I was younger, like going would be it's more like okay, I want to go for the experience, but I feel like
Yes.
as I got older, I was like okay, I had the experience, now it's like I really want to make the team or just enjoy my summer, like cuz like you said it can be an emotional roller coaster.
Facts.
So yeah.
No, I understand you. This is my
So
first year having my summer off, and I've loved it.
yeah.
I loved
So
it.
for me, this is my first year not having the summer off in
Yes.
like 10 years. So I'm like thankful to be here, but it is a lot different. Like,
Yeah.
but I'm sure with you, like you probably like are on vacation mode, right?
I mean, it's different because I'm like back. I'm trying to rehab my body and stuff like that and get it right. I've
Okay.
known for, my knees just, they aren't like they used to at Stanford. So I got to make sure that I'm constantly on top of it. But I have
Yeah.
been I'm able to go to Universal Studios with my family, which would never be able to happen. My mom's like, hey, we're going this weekend. And I can just, hop on a plane and go out there. And so that's just
Yeah.
it's been beautiful for me to do that. And I'm hoping I can be able to take some type of little vacation closer
Yeah.
to, when I'm about to leave. But yeah, I mean, I understand like having the summers off it's a different mindset. But how does
Yeah.
your body translate, or how does your body feel now that you've went straight from overseas to the WNBA?
Well, thankfully, I've like changed like my eating habits, so I like eat very healthy, or I try to, not all the time, but I like try to eat pretty healthy.
That's why you don't know about Harold's. It's fried chicken in it.
Yeah, that's probably why. Yeah, because I try not to eat fried, but I'm going to try it. Like, if it's that good and it's in Chicago, then I need to try it. But yeah, so I try to eat healthy. I try to stay on top of, like, weightlifting and stuff. Um, so my body has felt pretty good, but I think if anything, has been more of like not having that mental break. You
Yes.
know, after the overseas season, it's kind of like I can just like like not think
Yes.
about basketball for like a few weeks and just. But I haven't had that yet, and that I think has been the toughest part. Especially like when the midpoint of the season came, like right before the All-Star break, I feel like I was like, I need that break, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
thankfully, I had a few days off of the All-Star break to recharge, and so I'm feeling better now. But I feel like it was more so like not to be, and then it's not only not having the mental break. It's more like I came in here, like I lost my game in Spain, our last game, came straight here, and then it's like I was on the team, but it was kind of like I gotta keep my place on the
Yeah,
team.
yeah,
So it
prove
was kind of
yourself.
like
Yep.
having to prove myself.
Yep.
So I like when the other girls kind of come to practice like and have been here, they're comfortable. Like I
Yes.
wasn't comfortable yet, you know what I mean? So every day I'm coming to practice like it's a game. So it's like I was having a game every day for
Yeah.
like for like 2-3 months. So
Yeah.
um yeah, that was tough, but I'm like finding ways to find a good balance now. So
Love it.
now that I'm a little bit more comfortable. So
Yes, no, I feel you. It's a mental game, especially when you're constantly trying to get minutes, improve yourself for yourself, to your teammates, coaches. I
right.
completely understand. It's mentally tiring. So kudos to you. I'm not envious of you this season. I'm sorry.
You said you're what?
I said I'm not envious of you this season. I'm really enjoying my summer. So, but I
Yeah,
love
I
that.
mean, enjoy it. Really
I
enjoy it.
will.
Like, yeah, for
I will. I
sure.
will. Okay. Next question. Did you ever feel in the midst of those 5 years between you going to the training camp to now, did you ever feel like you were like gave up on the WNBA?
Um, so I wouldn't say gave up because I feel like in the back of my head, I was always hoping for that opportunity to come. But I was kind of like, okay, like if I don't make it, okay. Because I feel like when I was younger, I was trying to make it. I mean, not only because it was my dream, but also to kind of like prove that I was as good as some of the players that were there. But when I started to play against them overseas and I saw like, oh, like I can play with these girls, and I was
Mm-hmm.
kind of like, you know what I mean? I was like, okay, if I don't make it, like it's all good. And this past year was my first EuroLeague season, and that I had never played in the WNBA, but like the intensity and like level of the EuroLeague games, to me that was like a different level. So I felt like that was kind of like WNBA level. So once I made it there, did well there, I was like, okay, like I'm okay with how my career has went. So um, yeah, I wouldn't say I would gave up, but I was just like content with how my career had went.
Right. Right.
You know.
Absolutely. I want to stop here and I want to read something that I read that you actually wrote on your blog, on
Yeah. Oh, you read my blog.
overseasuncut.com. Yes, of course. I love blogs, so I
I
definitely
don't.
tapped into
Okay,
it.
I don't. I haven't been on there in a while, so I'm
So this
trying
would
to
be
figure
beautiful.
things
I'm really excited to
out.
read this to you. Okay, you ready? Okay. You
Okay.
wrote, I'm grateful that Girona recognizes that I can be a great contribution to such an elite team. I hope to remind players in a similar position as me to keep grinding because there will be a time when your hard work and talent is recognized. You wrote
I
that.
do remember writing that. Yeah.
You wrote that in 2019, I believe it was, when you were maybe 2020, when you're about to go play,
Picture up.
yes, to Girona. And then you became the league MVP. How do you feel hearing that? And then now you're in the league and now you're
Yeah.
showing, like you said, for players that are in your position that anything is possible. How do you feel?
I mean, people keep asking me that, but I feel like it's hard to explain in words. And like, I don't know. I'm just grateful and like honestly, like I said, when a EuroLeague team was willing to sign me, like it was kind of like okay, like like I'm doing things, you know what I mean?
I feel you.
But yeah, I mean, I wish like when I was younger that it kind of probably would have helped me too. Like if I would have, even when I actually saw like Shea Petty, she had made the
Yes,
WNBA.
yes.
So when I remember a few years ago when I saw that, I was like, okay, maybe I can still make it. So players like that, and then even like I said, like if I can inspire other players, like that to me is like even more like exciting than me actually like doing what I'm doing. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It's just like I was really excited to be going to Girona playing EuroLeague, and then yeah, things took off. Like I wasn't even expecting it. And to be honest, like I always say now, like you never know who's watching because
Never know.
I was just out there like playing, trying to be the best that I could just because I love basketball. And then people that I didn't even know were watching, and like look what happened. So
Well,
yeah.
Coach James Wade was watching, certainly.
Yeah. Yeah.
He was certainly
He
watching
definitely
you.
was. Uh-huh.
Is the
I
reason
had no
why.
idea either.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, it's crazy to see who's watching. And even like you said, like when you get the call from the EuroLeague, like this is my first year gonna play in EuroLeague. And like I was like, no, like
Yeah.
there's no way. Like
EuroLeague's a big deal.
it is. And
Yeah.
I'm hyped. So I understand like how you feel. I'm like, dang, like I was coming off a season like really like this is a new team for me. Like I'm just trying to ball. We really kind of an unorganized team. So I'm like, look, I just gotta do what I did to do because we're struggling right
Yeah.
now. So I'm just here to have fun and play ball. And then to see that somebody's watching you and to get rewarded for that is amazing.
Right.
I completely understand. Super dope for you.
Exactly.
Like you said, people are always watching and people are watching you right now. You said you just hope you inspire people that you are inspiring. You're inspiring me. You're inspiring even fans who don't play basketball, but are chasing their dreams and to know
Right.
like it might not come when I want it or but man, when the time comes, it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Yeah. And I feel like when it happens like in such a unique way or a different way, it kind of like makes you like appreciate it more, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Or
Yeah.
like you said, it can inspire people more. So like I honestly wouldn't even go back and change it because I feel like it's just great. I don't like I said, sometimes it's hard to explain in words. So
No,
yeah,
it's okay.
it's
If you're watching, you can just see her smile. And you can tell that that she is so appreciative of everything that she's
yeah,
been through and that she's enjoying the moment right now.
yeah,
Love
for
it.
sure. Yes.
Okay, so you made the team. Let's kind of backtrack into training camp. What was your mindset going into it? Because you knew, in 2017, what it was going into that. Now, what was different about going into this 2022 season?
So I think first of all, uh, I had in 2017 it was kind of just like the team reached out and was like, do you want to come to training camp? And that was that. I was like, yes. And that was that. This time it was like during free agency, I had like, I talked to the coach a little bit, and he kind of like talked to me about like what he would want for me. And and I just feel like, and also I wasn't going to be able to make training camp because my season in Spain had went long. So
It's a long season.
like, yeah, so the time leading up to training camp, as I mean, I'm sure, I don't know if you know, but like, uh, I had gotten invited to the training camp, but it was like, you never know what can happen up until then. And
Absolutely.
I wasn't going to
Yep.
be there, so I wasn't really sure. So that was kind of like, yeah, is he gonna wait for me? Is he not? You know what I mean? So
Yep.
I kind of just was, I was just like continuing to play in Spain. I knew like he would probably be watching, so I was like trying to do well. To me, that was kind of like my training camp because I wasn't gonna be able to go to training camp. So I was
Yeah.
like trying to play well so he would see it. But thankfully things worked out, and I did miss the first game here in Chicago, but thankfully I did make it over here and to the team. Like nothing else happened in between there. And then I ended up coming and I practiced for like a couple of days and then had the first game. So I just think the difference it was probably the communication with the coach, and then and I mean there had to be a lot of communication too because I wasn't gonna make training camp, so it was kind of just like an ongoing like process.
Right.
So
No, absolutely. I understand because my 5th year playing with Washington, I was in Hungary. We're playing in the finals, and I came in the last day of training camp, practiced once, and we had a game the next day. And so just that feeling like, dang, like, are they gonna wait for me? And that puts a lot of trust into the coach, knowing that he knows what you can do, he knows what you can provide. And really that's just testament to you. And like you said, you use the finals, or the playoffs for training camp to show them what you can do.
Yeah.
And you did amazing. So
thank you. But
absolutely.
yeah, it can be like you just never know. Like you said, you went and played the next, but you never know. Like,
You just
of
never
course
know.
they'll be
You
like,
never know with the
okay,
WNBA.
like, yeah, you just never know. So like,
She's laughing because she knows.
So, but what's meant to be will be. So like, it's kind of like, thankfully things worked out. So.
And work out, they did. You're out there balling, man. It's super dope to see, and everyone's is hyped about you. And like, man, look at Beck, she out there balling. Do you ever feel pressure because you are considered a rookie? One, let's stop there. Are you fine with people calling you a rookie? Do you feel like that's an appropriate term for you?
Yeah, I see people like going back and forth on Twitter about it all the time. But okay, so I definitely would say I'm okay with being called a rookie.
Okay.
Because honestly, like, I do have overseas experience, but I feel like the league is different, and
it is.
And in some ways, I'm still treated like a rookie. And like, although like I might be known overseas, it's kind of like in the league they don't really know me. So like I said, when I got here, I've had to prove myself, and I even feel like I'm still proving myself because I really haven't even like shown like all that I can do. But it's just like also playing with great players and like future Hall of Famers. You know what I mean? It takes time to build trust with them.
Yeah.
And then even little things too, like how we'll play a team and like for example, Candace knows that like Aerial Powers likes to do like the spin, like, but and then she'll get me on it, and Candace will be like, no, like this is what she does, like because they already know. So there's definitely things where like you can say that it's like happens because I'm a rookie, but I'd also think that the overseas experience has gave me like confidence, to play against these players. So like you said, I'm like a rookie and a vet.
The rookie. See, I knew you would love the game. The game. I knew you love it. but brilliant answered, because I think a lot of people don't put into account the recognition of the league, like not knowing different players, not knowing the style of play, like knowing that
different.
LA is going to play a certain type of way, or that Atlanta is going to be that fast-paced team, and that comes with time and experience. And so a rookie she is, a rookie she claims, she the rookie and the vet. That's my title for and one of the best rookies in the league right now. You're balling. What's been the biggest difference for you? Absolutely. What's been the biggest difference for you playing overseas and in the league? I love to hear this. It's different for guards and bigs. So I'm interested to see what your answer is.
The biggest difference, there's a few differences. Well, first of all, I'm surrounded with a lot of great players. So, overseas, like as an American, I've been overseas for 10 years. So I've been the main option overseas. Like, so it's a little bit different coming into a team where I'm not the main option. So that's one thing. And then also, the 3-second rule in the paint, it just looks wide open, So that's a big difference for sure. And to me, it's also like WNBA is a lot more. It's a lot faster.
Yes.
I feel like it's a little bit more one-on-one, and overseas is more like, well, like Spain and France is more like team or
Yes.
yeah, like half court basketball. So I would say those are the main differences. What are the differences that the posts and the guards usually say?
Um, People usually say that the game is faster. I usually say that overseas is more physical. Um, and
Oh
maybe
yeah,
because I'm bumping, with the bigs down low, and it's a different experience for you. You're not doing too much, or you're a physical player, but you're not doing the same.
no, it's different though. It's
Yeah.
different.
Yeah. So for me, like that's what I always say. And I'm like playing more of a 5 position when I'm overseas, as opposed to when I go to the league, I'm playing the 4. So it's less of that physicality. So I mean, there's a lot of difference. The 3 and the key is different too. Especially as a post player. I love to sit in the paint,
Yeah,
and love the block shots. And then I don't have that as much opportunity with a 3-second
right,
rule. So that's funny you
right.
mentioned that. It
That's a
looks wide
big difference.
open.
Wide open, like, or it's just more clear whether you have a layup or you need to
Right.
pass. You know what I mean?
What was your
So,
first experience when you're like, dang, okay, this is the WNBA? Was there like a taste of like somebody blocked you or something?
um, I would say, let me think. Let me think. Oh, I know what it is. We played Minnesota, and I tried to get a rebound over Sylvia Fowles, and she didn't move. Like, I was like, this girl, she's solid. When
Still
I played against
is
her, I
solid.
said, this is the WNBA for sure.
I love that. I don't know if this was my rookie season, but I remember for some reason I think it had to just be like transition defense, and I had to guard Liz Cambage. Um, and I was running back, and then she just sealed me down low, and I don't even think that they saw me behind her. So she just swallowed me in the
Yeah.
paint and just did an easy layup, and I was like, okay, yeah, you ain't gonna get this overseas.
Yeah. You know, overseas, like, I feel like we're more athletic than everyone, but here it's like everyone's athletic and
Yeah.
big, and like, so it's like I was just telling Kalia the other day, like, getting 5 rebounds overseas is like easy. Here, if
Yeah.
you get in the
Case.
league as a guard, it's kind of like, okay, you did something.
Right. No, I completely understand. Like
So
me getting block shots, I'm like, yeah, I'm getting them overseas, left and right. I don't know
right,
when I can get a block shot.
right,
It's
right,
just
right.
it's finesse. No, I completely understand. This is great because I haven't had that thorough of a conversation between the differences. Usually just be like, oh, someone says, yeah, it's faster or more physical, but
Uh,
this is good.
yeah, and there's a lot of differences. Like, even how you said that you usually play the 4
Yep.
in the league. I feel like when I'm overseas, I like here in Chicago, I'm playing the 3.
Yes.
So I don't really handle the ball at all. But like overseas, I'm like bringing the ball up, coming off picks all the time. But when you're playing with so many other skilled players like Vandersloot, like it's like you don't have to do as much, or
Yes.
so you can just like stick to one lane. So like I said, there's a lot of differences. I could probably go on and on.
I love it. All right.
Yes.
Let's finish up with the last question of the interview. Beck, if you could give advice to someone who's in your position, say they're 3 years into playing overseas, they still have the dream of playing in the league, what would you tell them to stay motivated?
Um, well, I would just say like keep going. I think that over the years of me playing overseas, for example, like I developed a lot more skills. I developed a lot more skills overseas. So as you're playing overseas or wherever, continue to get better and like stay motivated. And like I said earlier, like you never know who's watching. So every time you step on that floor, you know, play like you're trying to get to the league. You know what I mean? And like everything always works out and at the right time. So just gotta stay patient, stay the course, and keep working. So
Great
yeah, that's what I would
advice.
say.
Great advice. I think there's so many people out there who sometimes lose faith in their dream because of I
Yeah.
mean, the league, it's tough to get into, and a lot of it's out of our control. And sometimes it just comes to opportunity, but it's a mindset. A lot of it's a mindset too. So
Yes.
beautiful
For
advice.
sure.
Thank you for coming on. But
Yeah.
before we end the show, usually I'm
Yes.
sorry, I usually give I guess a warning. But I was so excited to have you on. I forgot to mention to you.
Oh God.
Okay, I always ask my guests for every show, what is their craziest overseas stories? You played in several different countries. So I know you got one for me. It doesn't have to be absolutely the craziest. Some people like to keep it PG because they got some wild ones that are kind of inappropriate. But what you got?
Craziest overseas. Let's see. Okay, I don't know if this is that well. If it happened in America, it would be crazy. But like, I would say it would have to be in Turkey, and
Of course, I
I
got
was
so
like
many.
in a. I was in a. There's a lot that happens in Turkey, but I was like in a taxi, and there was traffic, and so the driver just decided to ride on the emergency lane. Now, okay, that happens in America, but then we missed our exit. He reverses on the freeway, like all the way reverses, and then goes back on the exit, and that happened actually a few times. So, like.
Not more than
But
this occasion.
But
Okay.
I feel like that's like normal. That's normal out there. But
Turkish drivers are
yeah, I
that
think
hadn't
that
happened
was
to me. That didn't happen to me in Turkey. So
no. I'm
that was
surprised because it happened to me like a few different times.
they must have been relaxed around you because it didn't happen for me. The Turkish taxi drivers
No.
are absolutely crazy. It's an experience. I really advise anyone to go out there and try to get in the Turkey taxis cab. It's an experience, and like you said,
It's definitely an experience. Definitely an experience for sure.
you are living on the wild side. No, you're like my maybe my third or fourth Turkish story. So
Really?
yeah,
A lot goes down in Turkey. A
a
lot
lot
goes
goes down
down
in
there for
Turkey.
sure.
I've heard two Black stories. You know the Club Black
Oh
with
yeah,
the
yeah,
red
yeah.
hallway.
Uh huh.
Yeah,
Uh
I've
huh.
gotten two stories about that. So what
Yeah,
goes
a
down in
lot
black
goes
stays in
on
black.
in there too.
Yes, oh
Yeah.
facts. I always tell everyone that every time I post like a picture of the hallway, you know, with the red hallway, everybody knows shenanigans is about to happen, something wild is about to happen. So
Right, right.
that's one
I
thing I
have a
miss about
picture
Turkey.
in my phone from there too.
Exactly. Everybody knows about black.
Yeah,
But Beck, thank you
yeah.
again for coming on. Before we take off, plug yourself. Tell everyone where we can find you on social media. Your blog as well. I read your blog. I think it's amazing. So if you want to plug that, feel free to.
Oh yeah. I do have a blog. It's just about my overseas experiences. I do need to update it, and I will soon. But it's
I
called
think you should do some on your.
overseasuncut.com.
I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to repeat that again. I cut you off, but I think you should do one on your WNBA experience. I think it'd be dope.
I will. I'll update it. I'll update it sometime this week for sure.
Okay,
But
we'll put it in the bio. But okay, repeat it again because I cut you off. Go ahead.
okay, it's called overseasuncut.com. So yeah, I kind of created it a few years ago because being overseas, you kind of don't get as much coverage. So I kind of wanted to give people a little inside look on overseas. So I'm gonna I need to keep up on it, like I said, but I didn't know people still read it. So now that I know, I'm gonna like keep up on that for sure.
No, for sure. I check it out. I used to write a yearly blog on my overseas experiences. So when I saw you had one, I'm like, oh yeah, I gotta check it out.
Yeah. Okay. What's your blog called? Or do you still have it?
It was just links. It was just I was just doing it for a favor for a friend. She would just ask me like, hey, you want to put a blog on my website? It was on Hoopism. If anyone checks it
Uh,
out.
okay. Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So I would just do that.
Okay.
You probably know Sue. Sue is LA basketball. So
Yeah, I know
yeah.
who she is.
Okay. Where can we
Yeah.
find you on Instagram and Twitter?
Instagram. What's my Instagram? My Instagram is underscore Beck Gardner. You guys can follow me. Or and then Twitter. I do have a Twitter. It is Rebekah_Jasmine. Yeah, that's what it is. Sorry, I don't even really think about my handles, but yeah.
I write it down every week for the podcast because I can't remember it. So
oh.
No worries. I forget all the time.
Okay. At least I know I'm not the only one. So.
No, you're good. You're good. I'm about to read it right now. But for those who want to follow me, you can follow me at birdsofword_24 on Instagram and on Twitter. And of course, if you want to follow the show on Instagram, you can follow us at birdseyeView.podcast and on Twitter, the number 1 Bird's Eye View. Somebody wrote a dope comment about the show and rated me. And I was like, oh my gosh, thank you. What I'm doing matters. So
it's dope what you're doing for sure.
Oh, thank you. And like you said, like a lot of people don't get an insight on what our lives are like overseas in the league. So this is what the podcast is all about. Bird's eye view.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for tuning in, guys. Have a blessed week. This is Rebekah Gardner, all-star amazingness, super dope episode. Thank you. Deuces.
Thanks for having me.